गुड इवनिंग सभी को, नमस्कार। स्वागत है आपका हमारे इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर जिसका नाम है वन मार्क सॉल्यूशन। जैसा कि आप सभी जानते हैं, हमारे साथ इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे लगातार सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट्स जुड़ते आते हैं और जो हमारे सब्जेक्ट से रिलेटेड जो भी सब्जेक्ट साइंस, मैथ्स, फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री जो भी सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं उनको 1 मार्क्स के जो आपके क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं उनके डाउट यहाँ पे क्लियर करते हैं। 1 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन जो कि बहुत ही सॉलिड मार्क्स रहते हैं उनके, जिसमें आपको हमेशा डाउट रहता है कि कौन सा करेक्ट होगा, कौन सा नहीं होगा। तो हमारे साथ जो सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट्स जुड़ते हैं वो हमेशा कोशिश करते हैं कि आपकी इन क्वेरीज को हमेशा सॉल्व करें और बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से वो प्रेजेंटेशन के थ्रू आपको बताते हैं कि 1 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन आप कैसे अटेम्प्ट करें। तो जिस तरह से हमारे साथ लगातार प्लेटफॉर्म पे जुड़ते आ रहे हैं एक्सपर्ट्स, आज उसी श्रृंखला में आज हमारे साथ मैम हैं हमारी रिसोर्स पर्सन। आज की जो गेस्ट हैं हमारी, वो मिस अमीशा मिश्रा, जो कि वाइट लोटस इंटरनेशनल स्कूल सूरत गुजरात में पोस्टेड है मैम। और मैम आज पढ़ाने वाली हैं। मैम आपका मोस्ट वेलकम। मैम आपका स्वागत है हमारे इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर। और मैम आज लेने वाली हैं, जो हमारा चैप्टर लेने वाली हैं, पढ़ाने वाली हैं जो प्रेजेंटेशन, वो चैप्टर 8 साइंस का कोल एंड पेट्रोलियम। तो आप मैम का प्रेजेंटेशन देखिए और जो भी डाउट्स आपके इस चैप्टर से रिलेटेड हैं वो मैम ट्राई करेंगी सारा पूरा करने के लिए। और आप अच्छे से ये सेशन देखिए और सेशन के लास्ट में एक फीडबैक फॉर्म आपके कमेंट बॉक्स में आएगा जिसको आपको करना होगा, और जैसे ही उसको क्वालिफाई करेंगे तो आपको एक सर्टिफिकेट भी आपके मेल पे इशू हो जाएगा और आपको मेल करेक्ट डालना है मैम को। तो मैं हैंड ओवर करती हूँ अमीशा मैम को। अमीशा मैम प्लीज।
Yes.
Yes
Now,
ma'am.
now can I start? Now may I start?
Yes ma'am, you can start.
Okay. Hello, friends. How are you all? And my dear students, after a long time, we have made a week ago for synthetic fiber. I thought that somewhere I have helped you, or I'll try more to help you. And this is my new topic, that is coal and petroleum. So here we go. This is our first question. Which of the following is an example of an exhaustible natural resources? What are the exhaustible natural resources? Can anyone suggest? So, exhaustible natural resources means that resource that cannot be very long time, that cannot be sustained for long time. That cannot be a natural resource. A resource that can be over a small period of time. We are getting for small period of time. So, these resources, I am giving you example: air, sunlight, wind, and groundwater. Air, basically air. We will not think tomorrow air will not come. We will not heard in the news that tomorrow air will not come, and we haven't heard about it that sunlight. We will not get sunlight tomorrow. Wind, wind also we are getting every day. Means this is the natural resources, and these are not exhaustible resources. Exhaustible means that are going to. Yes. So the answer is groundwater. Groundwater is a resource that can be exhaustible natural resource. Now we are going to discuss about here is a second question. Dead plants and animals that were buried under the earth millions of years ago decomposed under extreme heat and pressure to form. Wherever dead plants and animals that were buried. But how they that were buried? Have you think about that story? So here I will tell you the small story. 300 million years ago, what happened at that time? The forest is very dense and swampy. Swampy means the forest, the soil. Nowadays, soil is very tight. Means you can construct buildings. But in 300 millions of years ago, soil is not very tight, it is loosened. So वो कैसी होती थी? Semi solid type. Water is mixed with it. So due to water is mixed with it, it is known as swampy. So that swampy soil is, वो क्या करे, वो थोड़े टाइम बाद जमीन में धंस गए, buried inside the layer. So after buried, one more layer, मतलब ऊपर से pressure और आया, so they are again inside, वो और अंदर दब गए, धंस गए. उसके बाद ऐसे कर करके उनके ऊपर बहुत सारे लेयर्स आ गए. किसके आ गए? डेड प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स के बहुत सारे लेयर आ गए. तो वो सारी जो क्या बोलते हैं, वो प्लांट्स थे, वो एनिमल्स थे, वो क्या हो गए? बरीड हो गए. दे वर दैट बरीड अंडर द अर्थ. तो उसमें से पहली बात तो ये प्रेशर आपको पता है, यू नो दैट इन अर्थ क्रस्ट, इनर साइड ऑफ अर्थ लेयर, temperature is more, temperature is high. Due to higher temperature and due to pressure, it will be decomposed under extreme heat and pressure. So that is sunlight. Sunlight cannot be decomposed in extreme heat or pressure. Air is also not composed in extreme heat or pressure. तो क्या कंपोज हो सकता है? That is the fossil fuel that we are getting from the extreme heat and pressure. Suppose आपके ऊपर कोई heavy pressure हो तो you are going down. You means you will not move. So same pressure is released over here. So due to pressure, the byproduct we get, it is fossil fuel. Here, third question. Which of the following is one of the types of fossil fuel? Now we have discussed about fossil fuel. Now can you tell me the type of fossil fuel? Citric acid, wind. Wind basically it is natural resource. It is renewable resource. Oxygen is also we are getting from air and it is renewable resource. Citric acid we are getting basically from lemon and it is also renewable. It is also we are getting from plant somewhere. But coal we are getting from this pressure, heat and pressure, temperature and pressure. With the combination of temperature and pressure we are getting coal. Okay, so the answer is coal. Next, which of the following is contain primarily carbon? Acha, for primarily carbon I want to tell you that slowly process of temperature. You know, dead and decaying materials are there in the soil surface. अब soil surface में वो material है dead और decaying, तो वो material अब धीरे 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 उसमें क्या होगा? Chemical process due to that temperature, higher temperature and higher pressure, उसमें क्या होगा? Chemical process. तो वो एकदम स्लोली केमिकल प्रोसेस होगा और उससे सबसे ज्यादा क्या जनरेट होगा? कार्बन. ठीक है, तो वो कार्बन सबसे ज्यादा किस में जनरेट होगा? एयर में तो हो नहीं सकता, सनलाइट में भी नहीं हो सकता जनरेट, वाटर में भी नहीं हो सकता, तो किस में होगा जनरेट? कोल में. सबसे ज्यादा कार्बन कंटेंट किस में होता है? कोल में. जस्ट बिकॉज वी आर गेटिंग फ्रॉम अर्थ सरफेस, we were get it from the buried dead animals and plants. Okay. The slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called. अब ये जो प्रोसेस है कन्वर्जन की, डेड वेजिटेशन जो हमने अभी डिस्कस किया 300 मिलियन ईयर अगो, तो वो सब जो वेजिटेशन था उसको क्या बोलते हैं जिसमें से हमें कोल मिलता है? What do we call that process from that we are getting dead vegetation? So it is hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon is basically hydrogen and carbon, mixture of hydrogen and carbon, that is hydrocarbons. Methane is one of the gas that is made up of hydrocarbons, as well as it is also getting from the natural gas. It is one major substance of natural gas, so वो भी नहीं हो सकता. Carbonization, the slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called as carbonization. उसको क्या बोलते हैं? पूरी कार्बनिक प्रोसेस. Inexhaustible तो हो नहीं सकता. We have discussed about it because we need a name of process. We don't need which kind of sources it is. It is about process, not source. If it is asked about source, so you can mention inexhaustible or exhaustible. Okay, so carbonization is a process. Next, we are moving on. Next, petroleum and natural gas are formed in the अब पेट्रोलियम और नेचुरल गैस फॉर्म कैसे होते हैं, कैसे फॉर्म होते हैं? वो प्रेजेंस ऑफ एयर में फॉर्म होते हैं, एब्सेंस ऑफ माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म में होते हैं, कि एब्सेंस ऑफ एयर और प्रेजेंस ऑफ सनलाइट? सो प्रेजेंस ऑफ एयर में तो हो नहीं सकते, जस्ट बिकॉज पेट्रोलियम एंड नेचुरल गैस वी आर गेटिंग फ्रॉम द लेयर ऑफ डीप डाउन अर्थ. सिंपल वे में बताऊं तो इट इज फर्स्टली इट इज मेक द कर्व. Downside it is ground layer. Upper the ground layer, these oil and petroleum is settled down, and upper that another layer, rock layer is there. Okay, so if it is upper side, so pressure नहीं होगा, so basically air भी present होगा, so it is not upper layer. Presence of air is not possible for petroleum and natural gas to form. Absence of microorganisms. Now if microorganisms are absent, it is not possible. In absence of microorganism, petroleum and natural gas not formed. Absence of air and presence of sunlight. Presence of sunlight तो possible है ही नहीं. Just because presence of sunlight होगा तो वो उसको it will not get buried, it will not get formed, मतलब it will not get convert. Simply वो decaying material नहीं हो पाएगा. So we are going to see the answer. Absence of air. जब air present नहीं होगी, at that time these process will take place. Petroleum and natural gas can form easily. In the absence of air, in the presence of air, it is not possible. In the absence of microorganism, it is not possible. And presence of sunlight, it is not possible. Microorganism is one of the part that will help to decay the material. Which of the following is the world's main source of energy to produce electricity? Now we have discussed a lot about fossil fuel. But what is the use of basically fossil fuel? Fossil fuel सबसे ज़्यादा use कहाँ पे होता है? So fossil fuel. Here are the types of fossil. Some of the types of fossil fuel and some are the processes. Some are the involving constituents of fossil fuel. So here is we are going to see from down to first. So hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon, as we have discussed, a hydrocarbon is mixture of hydrogen and carbon. It is not actually any content, and we can use to produce electricity, but we need to find out main source of electricity. Okay, petrochemicals, you know, the oil, different kinds of oil, and to make explosive things, and perfume, these kind of materials. To make this kind of material, we are using petrochemicals. Petroleum is also a different thing. Petroleum is also used for different aspects. Likewise jet fuel, likewise car, likewise generators. So it is also used in electricity, but we need to find main source of electricity, first source of electricity, and that is coal. Our main source of electricity is coal. Now next, which of the following contains least amount of carbon? Which of the following contains least amount of carbon? These are the some carbon contained. See, these are the types of actually coal, and these type of coal we are getting from the destructive distillation. Now you are asking, what is the destructive distillation? So destructive distillation means it is in absence of air. The temperature should be 1000 degrees Celsius. Around 1000 degrees Celsius we are getting the carbon content coal. So anthracite is down layer, मतलब सबसे कम अमाउंट, सबसे ज्यादा अमाउंट में हमको क्या कार्बन किसमें से मिलता है? एंथ्रेसाइट. वो कितना होता है? 86 to 95% amount of carbon is present in anthracite. Lignite is lower than that, means 75% type of we will get from lignite. Sorry, bituminous we are getting 75%, that much we are getting. Afterwards, lignite is also we are getting 60%. I'm not giving you exactly numbers, I'm not sure about exactly number, but I'm giving you some ratio. एंड पीट सबसे ऊपर का लेयर होता है, तो वो सबसे कम कार्बन कंटेंट होता है, सबसे कम कार्बन कंटेंट इज पॉसिबल विद द पीट. सो आवर क्वेश्चन इज कंटेन्स लीस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ कार्बन. अब समझ आया. एंथ्रासाइट सबसे ज्यादा होता है, हाईली कंटेंट, मेनली वो कैसा होता है, एकदम हार्ड मटेरियल, पोरस. एंड लिग्नाइट इज ऑल्सो कार्बन कंटेंट. बिटुमिनस इज ऑल्सो हायर कार्बन. Bituminous is lower than the lignite. फर्स्टली एंथ्रासाइट से लोअर क्या है, बिटुमिनस से लोअर क्या है, लिग्नाइट, और सबसे लोअर क्या है, पिट. सो हियर इज योर आंसर, पिट. Yes, our next question. Dash is the process of heating a complex substance such as coal in limited supply of air to break down into simpler substance. Just we have discussed about this process. Its actually definition is given this way. It is the process of heating a complex substance. We heat in which process we can heat the substance. Fractional distillation also we are heating the substance, but we are just dividing according to the temperature. जैसे कि फ्रैक्शनल डिस्टिलेशन में बेसिकली होता क्या पता है, एक ऐसे प्लेट जैसा होता है, फ्रैक्शनल वॉल्यूम होती है. फ्रैक्शनल वॉल्यूम में वो लोग धीरे धीरे दे आर गिविंग द टेम्परेचर. टेम्परेचर कहाँ तक देते हैं, 400 डिग्री सेल्सियस. और 400 डिग्री सेल्सियस टेम्परेचर जब देते हैं, तो पेट्रोलियम बेसिकली इट इज यूज फॉर पेट्रोलियम. सो वो पेट्रोलियम्स क्या होते हैं, धीरे 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 उसमें अलग अलग कंस्टिट्यूएंट्स निकलने लगते हैं. तो वो क्या होते हैं, सेग्रीगेट होते हैं, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कंस्टिट्यूएंट्स. फ्रॉम क्रूड ऑयल इट विल गेट सेग्रीगेट वन बाय वन, वो क्या सेग्रीगेट होता है. सो कभी 300 डिग्री डीजल मिलता है, फिर 300 डिग्री लुब्रिकेटिंग मिलता है. 125 डिग्री से 180 डिग्री तक हमको क्या मिलता है, पेट्रोल. 30 डिग्री पे हमको क्या मिलता है, गैसोलीन, पेट्रोल. एंड दिस इज द डीजल. 180 डिग्री इज kerosene. 180 degree Celsius we are getting kerosene. So these are about fractional distillation. We are going to talk about in detail afterwards. Now refining is कि उसको refine करना है, pure करना है. We have to, crude oil कैसा होता है, raw material. From the raw material of petroleum we are going to extract the different kinds of diesels, petrol and all different constituents. Petrochemicals is basically related to that chemicals and naphtha and petrochemicals is related to oil, lubricating oil, explosive, different materials can be get from it. And destructive distillation means the process of heating a complex substance such as coal in limited supply of air. जैसे मैंने बोला ना कि उसमें एयर की सप्लाई बहुत रेयर है, to break down into simpler substance. उसको क्या करते हैं, कोल को क्या करते हैं, सिंपलर सब्सटेंस में सेग्रीगेट करते हैं. और वो सेग्रीगेट के 4 टाइप्स हैं, एंथ्रासाइट, बिटुमिनस, लिग्नाइट और पीट, as we have discussed before. So it is destructive distillation. Now, products obtained by the destructive distillation. Which kind of product we are getting? These are the coal, anthracite, and that are the types of destructive distillation. And we are getting from the destructive distillation is these. Which one? Compressed natural gas we will not get. That we are getting from natural gas. Paraffin wax and bitumen, that we are getting from fractional distillation. And petrol, diesel and kerosene is the constituents of petroleum. So the last option, coke, coal tar and coal gas. Coke, it is basically we are getting from destructive distillation. Now coke क्या है? Coke is a solid form and it is 90% carbon contained. Coal tar is a liquid form that gives foul smell. And coal gas is a substance that is gaseous substance, that is also come out from the destructive distillation in the 1000 degree Celsius temperature. और इसमें से और एक चीज मिलती है, ammonical liquid, that is also useful. Next question. Which of the following does contain almost 90% carbon? अब 90% कार्बन कौन कंटेन करता है? Coal gas, coal tar, coke or ammonical liquid. Coal gas is not containing. It is the byproduct of from whenever we are trying to destructive distillation. So one by one we are getting all the products. So ammonical liquid is not containing higher amount of carbon. Coal tar is also not containing higher amount of carbon. Coal gas is also not containing higher amount of carbon. So it is coke. So coke contains higher amount of carbon. Which of the following is obtained from coal tar? We cannot use coal tar for the car. We cannot use coal tar for the aeroplane purpose. That we can use petroleums. In ships we cannot use coal tar in higher amount. Basically, in which area we can use that? We have last time also discussed, that is the synthetic material. So we are going to discuss about synthetic dyes and plastics. In synthetic dyes and plastic, we are getting the coal tar in higher amount. From the coal tar, we can use to make synthetic dyes and plastics. So basically, this is the use of coal tar. When coal burns, it mainly produces. Coal जब burn होता है तो सबसे ज़्यादा क्या produce करता है? हाइड्रोजन गैस नहीं. Because हाइड्रोजन गैस अगर produce करता तो वो नेचर के लिए harmful कैसे होता? It is not harmful for the nature. But if you are burning constantly coal, if you are burning higher amount of coal, and if you are in industry or everywhere, in kitchen also, ancient people means before 10 to 50 years, people are using that for kitchen, in the kitchen. And also railway engines. In railway engines, the same thing is applied. They are using coal in higher amount before 50 to 70 years. So hydrogen gas is not there. Sulfur dioxide is not mainly produced because coal basically contains higher amount of carbon content. So from that, carbon content comes out in higher amount, but it is not carbon monoxide. Basically, carbon monoxide is harmful for the lungs, and carbon dioxide is also, but carbon dioxide is not that much harmful because plant can also take up it. So we should grow the plants, but we will discuss afterwards about it. So the answer is carbon dioxide. Which of the following is known as crude oil or black gold? Acha. Before moving this answer, I want to know about that. What is crude oil? Crude means raw material. Coal is not raw material, known as raw material. Peat is one type of coal. Natural gas is we are getting differently. Petroleum and natural gas we are getting from layer wise layer. So basically, natural gas is known as is we cannot consider as natural gas को हम raw material में consider नहीं करते, पेट को भी नहीं consider करते, कोल तो actually वही form होता है. So petroleum is basically crude oil. But इसको black gold क्यों बोलते हैं? Just because nowadays दो चीजें important है, एक ट्रैवलिंग और एक फूड. लाइफ में दो चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है अभी की जनरेशन के लिए. सो फॉर ट्रैवलिंग व्हाट डू वी नीड एनी कार, बाइक, एनीथिंग. और उसमें सबसे ज्यादा क्या यूज होता है? पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स. सो बेसिकली पेट्रोलियम इज नोन एज ब्लैक गोल्ड. राइट. Which of the following is used in metal extraction? मेटल एक्सट्रैक्शन में क्या यूज होता है सबसे ज्यादा? Which of the following is used in metal extraction? Coke, petroleum, coal gas और coal tar. पेट्रोलियम मेटल एक्सट्रैक्शन में यूज नहीं हो सकता. बेसिकली उसका ही पेट्रोलियम का ही फ्रैक्शनल डिस्टिलेशन होता है. कोल गैस इज गैसियस प्रोडक्ट. सो मेटल एक्सट्रैक्शन में वी नीड एनी लिक्विड. एंड कोल tar is basically very thick substance. So metal extraction we cannot use coal tar. So basically we can use coke for the metal extraction. Petroleum is found under the dash. Petroleum is found under the coke, nahi. Petroleum is found under the sand, nahi. Because downside sand layer we will not get petroleum. In water, downside the water layer we will not get petroleum. Directly downside the water we will not get. We will get petroleum from the sedimentary rocks. Downside the sedimentary rocks, the petroleum will get. We will get petroleum from that. Now the next question. This is sedimentary rocks. The process of separating the various fractions of petroleum is known as first option, destructive distillation, refining, natural gas, or carbonization. Carbonization, so we have talked about the slow process of vegetation, the slow process of vegetation. वो है कार्बोनाइजेशन. कार्बोनाइजेशन में स्लो प्रोसेस होता है वेजिटेशन का, जिसकी वजह से वी आर गेटिंग कोल. नेचुरल गैस इज अ नेचुरल सब्सटेंस, वी आर गेटिंग डिफरेंटली. वी डोंट नीड टू डू सेपरेटिंग इट. रिफाइनिंग, वी हैव टू रिफाइन. हमको क्या रिफाइन करने की जरूरत पड़ती है? पेट्रोलियम. Basically petroleum is need to fraction, we need to fraction it. Q, just because we need different aspects of petroleum, likewise kerosene, petrol, diesel, naphtha, lubricating oil. So these are the substances. And destructive distillation आपको पता है, higher degree temperature, it gives absence of air, we will do this process, that is destructive distillation. That is refining. The Earth's temperature is increased due to global warming, which is cause of global warming. क्यों बढ़ रहा है? The Earth's temperature is increasing. अब वो तो increase हो रहा है, किसकी वजह से हो रहा है? The sun giving out more heat. ऐसा हो रहा है क्या कि सन बहुत ज़्यादा हीट दे रहा है? नहीं. The Earth slowly moving towards the sun. हमारी Earth धीरे धीरे रोटेशन करते करते सन के पास पहुंच गई. ऐसा भी नहीं है. Increase use of fossil fuel. We are using higher amount of fossil fuel. Everywhere you can see the use of fossil fuel. And I also share one more thing, that if you are using higher amount of fossil fuel, what about your future? Nothing you will get in your future, just because everywhere you, nowadays we are using mask for corona, but after some time, if this situation is constantly getting arise, we need to use mask for this, protect ourselves from this carbon emission. So decrease the use of fossil fuel as much as possible. Less duration of winter every year. No, we are having proper, all the seasons we are getting in a proper way. So it is not the less of winter and the sun is moving and all. It is just due to the increase of fossil fuel. Increasing is use of fossil fuel. Now next, CNG is abbreviated form. What is the full form of CNG? CNG की जब बात हो ही रही है, तो how do we get CNG? CNG is a natural gas. You all know that CNG is natural gas. But natural gas is not that gas. It is basically gaseous substance. So gaseous substance you know about. Wherever the gaseous molecules, they are moving from each other. Means they are having the distance from each other. They are not joined together. They are not tightly packed. So whenever you need to use natural gas, at that time you have to make some pipelines and you have to just compress it down. Whenever you will combine the natural gas, it will move. You cannot confirm the natural gas, and also you cannot condemn the natural gas. What will you do? You have to compress natural gas, so that can be sustained for a particular pipe or particular bottles, so you can use it. And CNG is basically used in bottles only, that gas bottles. So CNG's full form is compressed natural gas. Name the petroleum product used for surfacing of road. Peat is not useful for surfacing a road just because it contains less amount of carbon. Lignite is also, because it is also contains, peat से थोड़ा ज़्यादा होता है, पर lignite में भी carbon content कम होता है। अब एंथ्रेसाइट, एंथ्रेसाइट तो हार्ड हार्ड मटेरियल है और वैसे भी वो सबसे ज्यादा हायर अमाउंट ऑफ में इट कंटेन्स हायर अमाउंट ऑफ कार्बन, सो वो भी पॉसिबल नहीं है एंथ्रेसाइट में। सो इट कंटेन्स, last one is bituminous. Bituminous is having the less amount of fine grains. It is like fine grains like substance and it is used to surfacing of road. So this is the bituminous. Now give reason. I have you think about it. Petrol or petroleum are similar or different? I think petroleum similar तो होना चाहिए, खाली इतना ही तो फर्क है. Petroleum. So, but it is not similar. Basically, petrol is the byproduct. Likewise, petrol and petroleum are different from each other. Petroleum we are getting from underground the sea floor. Petrol और पेट्रोल कहाँ से मिलता है? फ्रैक्शन ऑफ पेट्रोलियम, fractional distillation of petroleum we are getting petrol. So petrol is a one substance of petroleum and one constituent of petroleum, and petroleum is we are getting from sea floor where all the animals and plants decaying and constant after over a years it forms the layers and layers, and due to high pressure and temperature it is converted into petroleum, and it is converted into petroleum. So this is the difference between petrol and petroleum. So now we are going to see the match the following. Uh, First is petroleum. Petroleum is which one? You will think about it. Second is coal, third is bitumen, fourth is CNG, and fifth is carbon. Here it is non-polluting is given first. So which one is non-polluting from this? CNG. CNG is non-polluting fuel. It is natural gas and it is also contain less amount of pollution. Carbon. Carbon is coke is contained higher amount of carbon. Now bitumen. Bitumen is bitumen is petroleum product. And coal. Coal is I have told you slow vegetation process, or wood is one type of vegetation. Just see the answer. Petroleum is insoluble in water. If you are going to mix petroleum with the water, it will not get mixed. That is why petroleum and water layer are, though it is in sea floor, but petroleum layers and water layers are not mixing to each other. Just because if you want to try, you can try at home also. If you are going to take in full glass of water, in that if you are going to put up 1 tablespoon of oil, the oil you will see on the surface only, it will not mix with it and it will not sink down, just because petroleum is lighter than the all the petroleums are lighter than the water, so they are surface only. So petroleum insoluble in water. Coal is a coal made up of one kind of vegetation as a wood. Bitumen is a petroleum product. CNG is non-polluting fuel, and carbon is related to coke. In coke, higher amount of carbon is present, around 90%. We are going to see fill in the blanks. Ash is used in LPG cylinders. What is used in LPG cylinder? Petroleum gas. We are getting LPG liquefying petroleum gas. So basically it is full form. By full form it shows it contains higher amount of petroleum gas instead of natural gas. And petroleum gas is also harmful for the environment because same thing, it contains higher amount of carbon contains. Ash occurs over petroleum in reservoirs deep inside the earth, which occurs natural gas. Natural gas occurs over petroleum reservoirs. deep inside the earth. ये सब क्या होता है? Deep inside the earth, but they are making the different layers. Carbon dioxide emission is responsible for what? It is responsible for major problem. Are you aware about greenhouse effect? And are you aware about greenhouse? So carbon dioxide is one of the major components of greenhouse gases. And due to greenhouse gases, it gives global warming. It consists of global warming. Dash is used as a solvent for dry cleaning, which can be used for dry cleaning. Think about it. So many area means जहाँ पे ना वो कपड़े धोते हैं ना, वहाँ पे अगर if you are having stains that cannot be removed very easily, you can use that substance and that be usable. वो भी एक यूज है उसका कि स्टेन को दूर करने के लिए भी sometimes you can use. That is petrol. Petrol is used as dry cleaning. Dash refer to the things that exist freely in nature for human use, which is refer to the natural resources, refer to the things that exist freely in nature, except water, fresh water. We are not getting fresh water nowadays. Fresh water is 3% only remaining, and from that we are utilizing in higher amount. So water, we need to concern about it, and it is also included in inexhaustible resources. Inexhaustible resources, which resources we are not getting, means it is non-renewable resources. It cannot be renewable. Nowadays we can consider in inexhaustible, non-renewable resources, because water we will not get, fresh water especially, water we will get, but fresh water. Crude oil is a mixture of hydrocarbon. क्यों crude oil hydrocarbon का mixture है? Just because it contains a higher amount of hydrogen and carbon. That doesn't mean it contains hydrogen. Basically, it is one of the molecule of water, but that doesn't mean it is consist of water or carbon. It is the mixture of only pure form of hydrogen and carbon. Dash is a mixture of hydrogen, methane, carbon monoxide, and other gases, which is that coal. Coal is a mixture of hydrogen, methane, carbon monoxide, and other gases. Natural gas mainly consists of methane, as we have discussed before. Methane is taken up from the natural gas. You know the biogas process. So many plants and animals, they are decaying on the. They have make one pit. In that pit, they are just dumping all the things, and afterwards, they are providing the pressure. Just because of pressure and all, the natural gas pressure and temperature, rising the temperature day by day. It is not the process of 1 day or 2 day, 1 year, 2 year. It takes time. So we will get the biogas, and biogas is passes through from the lines through the village areas. Nowadays, village people are using biogas, and they can use this natural substance, but it is not purely natural, but it is used. Ash are the chemicals derived from petroleum and natural gas. Petrochemicals are derived from petroleum and natural gas. Petrochemicals इसमें से मिलते हैं पेट्रोलियम और नेचुरल गैस. Dash is the variety of coal with maximum carbon content. इसमें होता है maximum carbon content. Anthracite, as we have discussed, it is 86% to 95% carbon content we are getting from the anthracite. True or false? Tripura, Rajasthan, Krishna, Godavari, Delta, Maharashtra. Natural gas is found in our country. In this area, we are getting natural gas in our country. Is it right or wrong? True. ये सब जगह we are getting the natural gas nowadays. Next. CNG is more polluted fuel than petrol and diesel. Is it true? CNG is a natural gas. or natural gas and gaseous substance basically it is, and of course it is compressed natural gas, so it is not more polluted, it is less polluted than petrol and diesel. So it is false. The answer is false. Natural gas is mixed with a chemical that gives a strong odor similar to that of rotten eggs. अच्छा ठीक है, अगर रॉटन एग्स वाली स्मेल नहीं आती तो आपको कैसे पता चलता कि घर में लीकेज है, गैस लीकेज है कहीं पे, कैसे तुरंत पता चलता है गैस लीकेज है, बंद करो गैस का नॉब बंद करो, इसीलिए बिकॉज इट गिव्स यू rotten egg smell, so because of that smell we will get to know कि कहीं पे लीकेज है, कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम है, कुछ तो झोल है. So that is true. Methane gas is a made up of coal. Methane gas is a made up of coal? No. Methane gas is a made up of hydrocarbons, hydrogen and carbon. Natural gas is a clean and highly flammable fuel. Is it right or wrong? It is right. It should be right because natural gas is basically we will get as a clean substance. And we are using natural gas why? Just because it is highly flammable fuel and it does not contain higher amount of carbon from it. It will not release a higher amount of carbon. So we can use very easily and simpler. Natural fibers are prepared by raw materials of petroleum, origin called petrochemicals. Natural fibers are prepared by raw materials of petroleum, origin called petrochemicals. False. Natural fibers we are not getting from raw material. Origin petrochemicals नहीं है उसका, origin petroleum है. Natural fibers, and we are getting from the coal tar also. Natural fibers we are not getting from coal tar. Sorry, it is from origin. It is not origin from petrochemicals. It is origin from petroleum. It is also we are not getting any petroleum or any petrochemical. Natural fibers we are getting from the natural substance, natural animals or plants. Plants like cotton plant, jute plant. Animals like silk. Silk we are getting from silkworm. Wool we are getting from sheep. So natural fibers we are not getting from petroleum or petrochemicals. India is the leading producer of petroleum. No. अगर इंडिया अगर लीडिंग प्रोड्यूसर होता तो वी आर नॉट हैविंग प्रॉब्लम विद द प्राइस ऑफ पेट्रोलियम. वी आर नॉट हैविंग द हाइकिंग ऑफ दिस. every 6 months or every year it will get hike on price of petroleum. वैसे कुछ ज्यादा बोल रही हूँ ना, वैसे तो हर महीने या 3 महीने 4 महीने में हो ही जाता है. So basically India is not the leading producer of petroleum. Who is then? That is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the leading producer of petroleum. Liquefied petroleum gas is a full form of LPG. Is it true or false? According to me, it is true because liquefied, L for liquefied, P for petroleum, and G for gas. No, it is not like that. But actually, the gas we are getting from the petroleum substance, petroleum, so it is known as liquefied petroleum gas. And now another gas we are getting that is we are getting from natural gas. So that is compressed natural gas, and this is in the liquefied form. Pennsylvania, USA, 1859 was the first oil well drilled. Pennsylvania in USA, we are getting the first oil well. This is true or false? According to me, it's true. Right. Pennsylvania, we are getting the first oil. Petroleum and diesel are fractions of petroleum which are used as fuel. Yes, it is the fractions of petroleum. Petrol and diesel are fractions of petroleum. Little bit here mistake. It is petrol and diesel. That is the fractions of petroleum. Petrol and diesel, not petroleum. So it is true. Petrol and diesel. Thank you for listening me. Thank you for giving me your important time. And thank you. Hope you like this.
थैंक यू सो मच अमीशा मैम फॉर अ ब्यूटीफुल प्रेजेंटेशन। आई थिंक क्लास 8th के स्टूडेंट्स की जो भी क्वेरीज इस चैप्टर से रिलेटेड रहेंगी, कोल एंड पेट्रोलियम चैप्टर 8 आई थिंक सॉल्व हो चुकी होंगी। मैम ने बहुत ही अपने प्रेजेंटेशन में सभी कुछ कवर किया है, मीन्स एमसीक्यू, ट्रू फॉल्स, फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स, मैच द फॉलोइंग। और मैं अभी क्लास जो भी क्लास 8 के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो भी बच्चे देख रहे हैं, तो आप एक कमेंट बॉक्स में एक फीडबैक फॉर्म है, आप उसको फिल करके भेज देंगे और अपनी मेल आईडी करेक्ट डालेंगे तो आपको एक सर्टिफिकेट, प्रिंटेड सर्टिफिकेट आपकी मेल आईडी पे पहुंच जाएगा। तो थैंक यू सो मच अमीशा मैम फॉर अ ब्यूटीफुल प्रेजेंटेशन। और आप लगातार हमारे साथ ऐसे ही जुड़ते रहिए। और स्टूडेंट्स को भी, क्लास 8 के स्टूडेंट्स को भी बोलूँगी कि हमारे और भी सेशंस होते रहेंगे, आप लगातार ऐसे ही जुड़ते रहिए। थैंक यू सो मच मैम।
Thank you.